time for Soul Chill Socials.
Halima, obviously, she said that she quit the industry because she was pressured into taking the hijab off too much. Like they would always try to, even though it's written into her contract that you can that everything she does, she must have the hijab on. She was saying that people will always say, well, what about a hat? Well, what about, we just let a little bit show at the bottom. Like, and that's I'm hoping she jumps back on, because my experience in modeling is, even though I'm Muslim, right? I'm part-time hijabi, I have my limits. As women, we're always asked to do a little bit more, and for reward, and I'm sure Halima had experienced this. We'll pay you more if you do the bikini shoot. And I'm like, I'm not doing a bikini shoot. I can't go to the masjid and say hello to the imam and him possibly see me in a bikini. Like, I'm not. Hair is different, right? He might see me at the grocery store. He might see my hair. So what has been your experience sort of growing pretty fast in the industry, still trying to maintain being a respected hijabi? And do you have it in your contract as well, like Halima?
Well, one of the things I find really important is that, when you have the law of divine decree, like, you do not need to exercise the point of having to explain this to people in a contract. It is just your religion. It's that, and it's up to you to enforce it. If you have a contract that states your usage will be used in the likes of you, if the likes of you is Islam, then that is the likes of you. It's up to you to decide to enforce it. And so if you don't enforce it and you don't realize the effect that it has on, many other Muslim women, then you are putting yourself in a position I don't consider myself nobody's role model. I never said that. Never said that. So I'm not a role model for nobody. I'm just Basha. I'm just being me. So I personally, shout out to her for like really telling her job story. That's what really captivated me. But, the whole industry thing is like, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it's one of those things where you're like, okay, is that contradictory, sis? Like, I just don't know. So I personally don't feel the need to be able to voice my opinion about a matter that has everything to do with me wanting it, right? Because she wanted it.
Right.
She wanted the attention and she wanted the fame of it, and so as a grown woman, my whole perspective is that if you don't know yourself when you enter this industry, it can eat you alive. Yeah. And so before I was even Muslim, Hassan knew me. Before I was even Muslim.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah.
Well, see, that makes total sense, because I agree. I was like, I've never felt like I needed to leave an entire industry because of pressure, especially when she's at that level. It's like, you have to put your foot down and you have to be that, if they want to call her, look at Naomi Campbell. There's a reason they called her a bitch, because she was sick of being, I'm sure she was pushed around so much that it was like, she finally had to put her foot down and she had to say, no, I'm the shit. You need me more than I need you. And this is my boundaries. You don't have, but I think that she also probably had a lot of pressure from the Islamic community. Like, I mean, I remember on her post, if she wore lace that had like a nude color underneath, it was like, that's not hijab, so I think eventually you might just kind of feel like you're getting eaten alive, and maybe it wasn't just the industry, maybe it was the feedback as well. Maybe her income was like, you know what, I don't need to model anymore. I don't know, but I'm happy to know that
she made her money. Stop. Like, I'm dead. I'm not even going to stress the point, because sis made her money. She bought a house. I'm good. I'm about to go back to school.
Right.
She got her. She didn't like let the system pimp her. She pimped the system. Exactly. And she wanted it. She styled herself that way. She said it in her post. That's why I said I respect her for telling her story. Her mom said, you got to go and apologize because you did that. Nobody told you to do that. Even her manager was like, that's not even you. Her manager was like, that's not even you. Why you out here with turban trying to be this hot hijabi? Like, no, you're not a hijab baddie. Like, that's not who you are.
Yeah, no,
there's women who are like that. Like, they come from a certain lifestyle. It would be different if I grew up in a refugee camp and all around me was Islam, haram, makruh. Like, I didn't grow up like that. I grew up where hypersexualization was normal. So, like, for me, I just be like, okay. and then I go from that to like, okay, there's a balanced way to talk about it. But the problem and the issue that I have is that, you know, when you try to like just completely, because it's a professional thing, like when you try to make it seem like, oh, this is like, you know, I should have done that, just say you should have done it, but you can't be calling out the whole industry that happens to be like something that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Yes, they need us. Yes, they want us. Yes, we are accessible into making that money. All these bloggers, Aisha Haroon, like all of these bloggers that do all that stuff out there in LA, they're unbothered. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like they're making in one post $10,000. You think they're bothered? Like, and all of these people have something to say about it because it's inspirational. But the fact that she was getting a lot of flack from the Somali community, she changed her name to Halima Somali on her Instagram. Her name is Halima Aden. So for me, is it a cultural response? Is it you wanting to hold on to your culture? You don't want them to hate you because they feel like you're selling out. You're selling out. But really, you're the one that wanted that because everyone saw you as for who you were in the beginning. No one wanted you to change. You thought you needed to. That's shaitan. You know what I'm saying? So that's her nefs and all of that. So no, I don't think that you need to put anything like that in your contract. I just think you need to stress from the beginning. Listen, if at any point, I'm grown. Nobody's going to disrespect me and try to tell me. I'm like, excuse me? We did what now? We said what? Oh, you know already. And I bought the hijabs and I should get styling credit. And so I do. And I give myself styling credit. Yes. I don't need to go back to that. I wasn't a Muslim. I wore my hair out. I had my fun. Like, alhamdulillah, like done. Khalas, boss, like enough, like, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So that's me. You know, some people who grew up into Islam, like they're like, well, I want to explore, and for them the modeling industry is counterproductive of their spirituality. For me, it's about me being tested, and Allah is putting me in this position to test me. That's how I see it. And so I'll be very grateful with everything come my way across my, email, anything come my way. I'm very grateful. I'm like, subhanallah. I used to model before I was Muslim. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so none of this stuff popped off. And I had all of the same contacts, maybe more than I did now. Wow. Allah was like, you not ready. And I wasn't even Muslim. Allah was like, you wasn't ready. Because I wanted it too bad.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like, Allah works like that. And it's all about your intention. Like, that's it, period.